Hey everyone, welcome on board to the CyberPod, and we are here with a brand new episode for you, and also we will be talking about few important things in cybersecurity today. I'm Vihan Udavela.
I'm Triyashi Silva, and we will be co-hosting today.
So Triyashi, if we talk about the topic for today, what do we have with us today?
Yes, Vihan. Today's topic is modern threat landscape and current attack trends.
Alright.
So it's a major topic in the current era.
Yes, I believe that it's one of the topics that should be talked a lot, and we should provide awareness to people about these things. Yes. So if you talk about our agenda for today's podcast,
so
what do we have?
Today, Vihan, we have 3 news items, and we have categorized it into good, bad, and ugly.
Right.
So do you want to start off with that first?
Yeah, definitely. All right. So if you talk about the good. So we all know that Facebook has rebranded as Meta, right? So Facebook has banned Pakistani and Syrian hacker groups for abusing its platform, right? And also Meta's threat intelligence analysis has said that these apps were a front for 2 distinct malware strains, and also a remote access Trojan which was named P-Jobrat, and which was previously found targeting Indian military forces, and a previously undocumented implant dubbed Mayhem that's capable of retrieving contact lists, text messages, call logs, location information, media files, device metadata, and even scrape content that was on device's screen by abusing the accessibility services. So basically, these people have got everything.
Yes,
so
they have.
I think it's great that these guys have actually banned these hacker groups from accessing Facebook.
Yes.
So that's what
pretty much a good news we have.
Yeah, actually, and also so see, most of these are government linked groups, right? So I think this by banning these things, they can actually prevent data breaches, like up to a certain extent, but not a lot. But see, this is a stepping stone for us to actually prevent cyber attacks and from harming people. So I think that's good news.
Yes.
Yeah. So what do you have?
I have a bad news.
All right.
So I'm pretty much talking about a new Android Trojan.
Oh,
so
okay.
it's known as SharkBot, and it steals like banking data, and cryptocurrency account details. So this gets installed in Android devices, like mobile devices, and it extracts all the passwords, account numbers, account details.
Right. Okay.
It's a pretty much a crucial thing. So
it's actually crucial.
Yes.
Same like the previous one. I think that they haven't banned this. They have found this, right?
Yes, they have found this. So cryptocurrency is a very crucial thing because many people do cryptocurrencies these days.
And many people use cryptocurrency for their transactions and right. Even ransomware groups, they want their ransom in cryptocurrency.
Yes.
So I think
this Trojan will be a major impact on these banking details. So I pretty much think that they will find a way to mitigate this.
Yes, I hope.
Yes. So not yet. So we'll hope so.
Yep. And also, so you think that's an okay news, right? Okay, that is bad. But I think once you hear it, you're gonna be all surprised and all that. So these are crazy. These are really ugly news actually.
Okay.
So North Korean hackers target cybersecurity researchers with Trojanized IDA Pro. So if you talk about this, Lazarus, this is a North Korea affiliated state-sponsored gang, right? It is attempting again. So I think this has happened before as well. So this is attempting cybersecurity researchers. So they are attacking cybersecurity researchers with backdoors and remote access Trojans, right? With pirated editions of the popular IDA Pro reverse engineering program, right? So also these discoveries, right, were disclosed by ESET, security research last week in the series of tweets, right? So see, this is actually really bad.
Yes.
See, all these state-sponsored hacker groups, right? They're really trying to harm people, like
Yes.
Internationally
And globally, they are trying to.
Yes.
They're trying to.
Yeah, they're trying to harm. Yeah.
Harm the reputation and everything.
Yeah. So see, we have to take action in order to actually prevent these data breaches and everything.
Yes.
Right?
Yes, we have.
So what else do we have? Are we done with our news?
No, we aren't. We have a guest today.
Oh, right.
Yes,
Okay. So
you
for
can.
today we have a guest, right? So we will be introducing you to that guest right after we finish this session.
Our guest for today is Dumidu Darshika Senanayake. He has a vast knowledge in cybersecurity domain.
And also, he is currently working as a threat manager in the security operations division at Pearson. Dear sir, welcome on board the CyberPod. Mr. Dumidu, thank you for taking time off of your busy schedule to join with us for this podcast. So we have a few questions for you, and so Triyashi will start with the first question.
Mr. Dumidu, what are the ways the current threat landscape has been shaped?
Okay, I will extract some information from ENISA Threat Landscape Report for 2021. So this report, they have kind of listed down 9 most highest threats, right? So I'll list them down. Ransomware, malware, cryptojacking, email-related threats, threats against data, threats against availability and integrity, misinformation, non-malicious threats, and finally supply chain attacks. Okay, supply chain is something very recently came in, right? So when talking about the top most highlighted trends, now ransomware has been the prime threat from last year up to date, right? The volume of cryptojacking infections recorded high for this quarter of 2021 compared to past years. Right now, why this ransomware and cryptocurrency mining have become increasingly motivated? Because it's the most common payout method for threat actors. Okay, so other than these highlighted trends, there are others. Right now, in governments of Western countries, they have stepped up their game, both national and international level, to combat cybercrime. And COVID-19 is still the dominant lure in campaign for email attacks. Why? Because there are still a lot of emails are being distributed saying about fake fundraising campaigns against COVID-19. So we need to be vigilant about those kind of emails. And there's a surge in healthcare sector related data breaches. Again, why? Because a lot of people being hospitalized, and a lot of personally identifiable information is with hospitals. Okay.
Yes.
And then talking about DDoS attacks in 2021, they are kind of leveled up. They are more targeted, more persistent, and increasingly motivated, right? And adding more, there's a new type of device added to this force, right? So they are Internet of Things. Okay, so now why it has become why IoT devices being added means now once an IoT device or any smart device is released from their manufacturer, they hardly ever get an update to them, right? No security updates or patches. right? So it makes attackers to very easily compromise these devices rather than a PC, right? So, and there are a lot of IoT devices around the world. So it makes the gravity of the attack much more worse, and couple of times multiplied of the attack. Now, if you remember, there was a recent attack for home-based internet routers, right? It is a chip inside which is vulnerable, so attackers could compromise these routers, and like every residence may have a router, right? Everyone is connecting to internet, and these days a lot of people are working from home, so the attack or the devices participating in attack can be very, very high. Other than that, maybe smart fridges, smart TVs, maybe IP cameras, all of these devices can be used against an legitimate host if they are compromised. So as we speak, maybe if you have smart appliances, devices at your place, just be vigilant. They might be participating in a DDoS attack, right? And the final one is with the start of the pandemic, right? Companies, they had to activate their business continuity plan, BCP, and they have to have a change in their IT infrastructure to cater their employees to work from remote locations or work from home. So in this case, the changeover has to happen very soon. So that means it's prone to kind of have human errors, system misconfigurations due to this. So from 2020 onwards, most of the breaches that have happened, the root cause is misconfigurations of those perimeter devices, right? So this is just a brief what this year's threat landscape consists of. So this is always changing. So be vigilant. Being vigilant could help an organization to manage threats more effectively.
Yes, I think that was a great insight on how the threat landscape has shaped and all that. And also, so with these threats increasing, what mechanisms are there to identify these threats, and also how does threat intelligence get involved in threat identification?
Okay, right. I will approach this by saying the most prominent method that we have is threat modeling, right? Threat modeling involves identifying potential threats and attack vectors. After that phase is done, then assess the impact of the threat, classify the threat, and finally apply controls to mitigate. So threat modeling can be applied to any object, any application, infrastructure, even ourselves as well. So if I ask you, as humans, what is the greatest threat to us at the moment? It is COVID-19, right? Yeah. So if you are going little bit deeper, right? Now, threat modeling, there are two methods how we can do this. First one is proactive, and the second method is reactive method. So when you're talking about proactive method, it's even like before developing an application, right? In the design or architectural phase, we can evaluate the functionalities of this application, and we can make some recommendations to reduce the risk of this application, right? So example, we can if this application allows to upload files, we can make recommendations to say only upload these types of files only, right? So it actually helps us to kind of reduce the cost in the coming years or when operating this application, right? So security is something we should be built in anything, not something that bolted in, right? So it's when it's something built in, it's always secure, so you don't need to spend extra money to make it secure, right? And the second method, the reactive method. Now, say for example, now the application is already in production environment, and what we as security professionals, what we can do is we can perform security testing or penetration testing for that application, right? So, for example, maybe a web application. So we can test that web application, whether it is vulnerable to cross-site scripting, STL injection, many other vulnerabilities. So if they are found to be true, then we can recommend to apply input sanitization and other controls to mitigate those threats. So now there are many methods of performing threat modeling. SLIIT is from Microsoft and Pasta, but this is not the time for a deep dive on each and every one. So let's move on to the threat intelligence, where threat intelligence comes in. So threat intelligence is gathering data about types of threats, affected systems, detection mechanisms, tools and processes used to exploit vulnerabilities, and above all, the motivation of the attacker, right? So TI helps to enrich our understanding of possible threats and to inform responses how we should manage these threats, right? So TI is actually not something that can be performed manually, right? There are threat intelligence platforms where they will collect information from all of those resources which I said before, and then using machine learning algorithms, they will kind of provide us useful information about threats specifically for that particular organization. Yep.
So now, when talking about attack trends that we have seen that like ransomware, DDoS attacks, and social engineering has major impacts for today. So therefore, how do these attacks impact us?
Right. Okay. So when I'm talking about impact of an attack, so we can take three main categories: financial, reputational, and legal. Now, for example, if a data breach occurs and PII, personally identifiable information, is exposed, it can trigger legal issues. Therefore, companies may have to pay legal fines, especially in GDPR. If they find if data has been leaked, then they should inform the authorities within 72 hours, and they will perform the investigations. And if they find that if the company doesn't provide protection for those information, then up to 4% of their global profit, or else about 20 million euros they can fine you. And even though if you have provided protection for the information, but however there will be some kind of a fine, like there's no escape from a data breach. Now this will also affect the reputation of a company. Now, say for a bank, so would you be happy investing in a bank that data has been breached, right? I don't think so. So now I hope most of you might have watched Mr. Robot TV series.
Yes.
Right. So yeah. So this is about the story is about a ransomware attack crippling a bank. So we can witness like how the bank staff is going through this chaos, and what are the troubles that even the customers are facing in this TV series. So let's take another example. Now, when a DDoS attack occurs, right, a service provided by an organization is crippled. Now, for example, e-business, right? So a DOS attack would make an e-business site offline, maybe for just an hour. So it is like for them losing a lot of revenue generating from that site. Now, furthermore, this unavailability of a service can violate SLAs, service level agreements, right? Again, which leads to fines. So therefore, threats must be assessed according to the impact they are going to cause the company and apply relevant controls.
Right. So also now, with all of these attacks, how can we be safe? How can we mitigate? And what protection mechanisms are present in the current world?
Okay. When it comes to protecting our valuable assets, the best methodology we could apply is defense in depth, right? Basically, it is applying security controls one after another. So it makes an attacker the breach very hard. That the attacker has to put more effort and more time in breaching one challenge after another, right? So going one step further, there are three main components on this. So if I align them according to defense in depth, first one is physical controls, then technical controls, which also called as logical controls, finally administrative controls. So physical controls are implemented in a parameter of a secured area, right? Maybe it could be a data center, or it could be a business premises, anything, any place, physical location, from fences, man traps, biometrics, even for security guards. There are many things we could implement preventing an intruder from entering a secure area. Right now, next level would be technical controls, right? Otherwise called as logical controls, such as firewalls, intrusion prevention and detection systems, WAF, web application firewalls, NAC, network access controls, and EDR, endpoint detection and response, DLP, data leak prevention systems. There are many. So these devices or technologies will prevent attacks coming through networks, right? Now, even though how much technical or physical controls we apply, these controls actually cannot prevent misbehaviors of users. So that's where the administrative control would come to play. It is actually policies, right, that guides users what they can do and cannot do. Now, for example, we can take internet usage policy or email usage policy. So these policies prevents user from misbehaving these resources provided by an organization, right? Now, it will actually, like these internet or email policies, they will actually helps to prevent malwares from being downloaded, users visiting into inappropriate websites, and even spam or phishing emails coming into office email boxes, and so there are many benefits that we can have from applying administrative controls. So applying these three controls properly in a company, so it will make the security of this company in a very good position.
Yes.
So with these attacks and all the mitigations, why could you give us a small insight about why cybersecurity awareness is more important to prevent these types of attacks?
Okay, I'll start with an example. Now, say there's an employee who receives an exciting email saying that he has won a lottery. To collect the prize, it says to click on a link in the email body. So, what do you think an average user would do? Without any second thought, they will click on the link, right? So then we all know what is the story after that, right? Ransomware, forms spreading through the office. It is like opening Pandora's box, right? So another one. Now intruder disguises as a legitimate person, tries to enter into a secure area. So you might have seen these kind of scenarios a lot in the Mr. Robot TV series, right? And I'll take another one from the same TV series. Now, there's a scenario where flash drives are dropped in a police station parking lot, and one police officer picks it up and he plugs it into his computer. So, however, for his luck, the antivirus software detects the malware in it and stops the infection, right? So think about if this malware is advanced enough to be stealth for detection, then the damage would have already been done. Now, so these are all social engineering attacks. It exploits the weakness in the behavior of the user. So the remedy is to improve the user behavior. So this is actually done by conducting regular security awareness sessions. Now, why I say regular is, as humans, we tend to forget things. So it's better to have annual awareness sessions in a company, right? And even not forgetting the content which is given in this awareness session should be updated according to match with current threats or risk the company is facing. Otherwise, teaching the old same old thing will make no use of the awareness session, right? So it should be up to date. Now, why security awareness becomes the most important one, right? Now, in the previous question, as I said, now physical or technical controls have a hard time mitigating social engineering attacks. Now, firewall may stop a spam or phishing email, but firewalls cannot stop user from clicking a link in the email body, right? So therefore, changing the user behavior by educating them of the malicious activities have the most positive impact in mitigating social engineering attacks. In addition to that, it is the most cost-effective method rather than applying multi-million-dollar cutting-edge technologies. Just spending few dollars, we can prevent a major disaster happening to the company.
I think within this short period of time, we have gotten a lot of information from you, sir. And on behalf of the cybersecurity community of SLIIT and on behalf of the CyberPod committee, we would like to extend our gratitude and heartfelt thanks to you for joining with us for this podcast session. And we are hoping to have you for another episode of this podcast in the future. And thank you so much, sir.
Thank you, sir.
Yeah, thank you guys to kind of inviting me for this session. I hope the information that I have given is very useful, and it's been an informative session for all listeners. And yeah, thank you again, and I'm very happy to share my knowledge in future sessions as well.
Thank you so much, sir. Thank you. So guys, we hope that you have got a vast knowledge from this episode about the current attack trends and also the modern threat landscape. Hiyashi?
Guys, stay tuned for more podcasts. Make sure to like, share and subscribe our YouTube channel, and we will meet soon in a new episode. Stay safe
And stay home, most importantly. We are the cybersecurity community of SLIIT.